Hello everyone, welcome again to this new episode of Shake Hand with Life YouTube channel. I am Narendra Sharma, and in this video I am going to tell you how to construct the house of quality for a particular product on the basis of customer requirements. And because you know that the house of quality is main part of quality function deployment. Here in the quality function deployment, the QFD team prepares or constructs the house of quality on the basis of customer requirements and find out the product design requirements using house of quality. So here I am taking a product which is handlebar stem of a mountain bike, and we find that how to collect or list the customer requirements in the house of quality, then technical descriptors and other things in the house of quality. So I would like to remind you about the house of quality. Here we have different rooms and central hall is there in the house of quality. So for room number 1, it is for the customer requirements, for primary customer requirements and secondary customer requirements. Then we have room number 2, it is for the technical descriptors, the primary technical descriptors and secondary technical descriptors. Then we have in the house of quality a central hall. Here we study the relationship between the customer requirements and the technical descriptors. And then we have room number 3 on the top of the house. Here we study the interrelationship between the technical descriptors. And then we have room number 4, which is in the backyard of the house. Here we study the customer competitive assessment score, then importance to customer, target value, scale up factor, sales point, absolute weight and percent. And all these things are included in the prioritized customer requirements. And then we have room number 5, which is in the bottom of the house. Here we study the technical competitive assessment for our product and our competitor's product. And also we have the degree of technical difficulty, target value, absolute weight, relative weight. All these things are included in the prioritized technical descriptors. Right. So on the basis of this, we have following learning content. So we'll study how to construct the house of quality for handlebar stem of a mountain bike. So this video is really going to be very beneficial for you if you stay till the end of this video to learn the construction of house of quality for a particular product on the basis of customer requirements. So here in this video, we'll study how to list the customer requirements in house of quality, and also we study how to list the technical descriptors in the house of quality, which is in the room number 2. And then we also study how to add the relationship metrics for customer requirements and technical descriptors in house of quality, which is in the central hall. And then we have how to add interrelationship metrics for technical descriptors in house of quality on the top of the house. Then we study how to add customer competitive assessment score in house of quality, which is in the backyard of the house in room number 4. Room number 4. And then we will study how to add the technical competitive assessment score in house of quality. This is in the bottom of the house in room number 5. And then we will also study how to develop the prioritized customer requirements in house of quality, like target value, scale up factor, sales point and absolute weight. Then we'll also study how to develop the prioritized technical descriptors in house of quality, like degree of technical difficulty, target value and absolute weight. And finally we find the conclusion on the basis of all the stuff we added in the house of quality, and we find that which technical descriptors should be preferred on the basis of house of quality, the stuff added to the house of quality. And on the basis of preferred technical descriptors, the QFD team recommends the resources, what kind of resources are required to fulfill the customer requirements. Right. But before we jump into this video, make sure that you have subscribed Shake Hand with Life YouTube channel and hit the bell to get the notifications of my latest video lectures. And if you find this video a great learning content for you, then hit the like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Do write your feedback and suggestions in the comment box below. And to download the course notes and ebooks in PDF, please follow the link in the description below. I have given the link in the description below for the course notes and ebooks. And to get the information about my upcoming online training classes, please visit to my website www.shakehandwithlife.in. Here we have a blank structure of House of Quality, and in this blank structure we will collect the customer requirements, the technical descriptors, and we will do the different kind of calculations in this House of Quality for different stuff we have, like the technical competitive assessment, customer competitive assessment, and we would like to prioritize the technical descriptors for handlebar stem of a mountain bike, because our product is handlebar stem of a mountain bike. So we start with listing the customer requirements, that are also known as WHATs. So to list the customer requirements, we use tree diagram, because the customer requirements are also known as WHATs. So starting with the WHATs, what we have handlebar stem as a product, and what are the requirements of the customer at primary level. These are aesthetics. Second one is performance, and at secondary level, aesthetics includes reasonable cost, aerodynamic look, nice finish for handlebar stem, and the handlebar stem should be corrosion resistant. Then performance includes lightweight, strength, and durability for handlebar stem. Okay, now here we have the customer requirements in House of Quality for handlebar stem. So at primary level, aesthetics and performance, and at secondary level we have reasonable cost, aerodynamic look, nice finish, corrosion resistant, and performance includes lightweight, strength, and durability. So this way we can list the customer requirements in House of Quality. Right. Now we list the technical descriptors for the handlebar stem on the basis of customer requirements. Right. So now to list the technical descriptors for handlebar stem, we again use the tree diagram. So the technical descriptors also known as house, and at primary level we have two options. One is material selection, that means the organization has to select the best material to manufacture the handlebar stem. And then secondly, the organization has to select a manufacturing process. These are the two primary requirements. And material selection includes at secondary level steel, aluminum, and titanium. So these are the three options, out of which we have to select one. Which one is best suited for the handlebar stem? And then the organization has to select the best manufacturing process, and at second level the organization has these following options: welding, die casting, sand casting, forging, and powder metallurgy. Okay, so here we list the technical descriptors in House of Quality. So by zooming, you can see that these are the technical descriptors at primary level: material selection and manufacturing process. And material selection includes steel, aluminum, and titanium, and manufacturing process includes welding, die casting, sand casting, forging, and powder metallurgy. So these are the technical descriptors and customer requirements listed in House of Quality. Now we study the relationship between customer requirements and technical descriptors by adding the relationship matrix in central hall of the House of Quality. So to add the relationship matrix, what we do, we assign symbol or number to represent the degree of influence between each technical descriptor and each customer requirements. And for that, we use a solid circle that represents a strong relationship. We use a single circle that represents a medium relationship. We use a triangle that represents a weak relationship between the customer requirement and technical descriptor. And if the box left blank, in that case, there is no relationship between the customer requirement and technical descriptor. It helps to shorten the development cycle and lessen or reduce the need for future changes. That means the organization is going to manufacture a perfect product according to the customer requirements. There is no requirement of future changes in that product. And later on, we can replace the symbols with numbers, such as solid circle can be replaced with 9, single circle can be replaced with 3, and triangle can be replaced with 1. Now, taking the first secondary requirement from the customer requirements. So it is a reasonable cost. Now we study the manufacturing cost related with the technical descriptors. So with steel, strong relationship is there. There is a low manufacturing cost with steel. With aluminum, also low manufacturing cost. But with titanium, the relationship is weak, therefore high manufacturing cost is there. And if we talk about the manufacturing processes, then for welding and sand casting, the manufacturing cost is low, therefore strong relationship. And for die casting and forging, we have medium relationship. That means the cost could be high, but not too much high. And for powder metallurgy, weak relationship is there. That means the cost could be very high to manufacture the handlebar stem. Now for taking aerodynamic look, there is no relationship between steel and aerodynamic look. That means there is no relationship. And for aluminum and titanium, we have a weak relationship for aerodynamic look. And if we talk about the manufacturing process, then we have weak relationship for welding, but we have strong relationship for die casting and powder metallurgy in case of aerodynamic look. And for sand casting and forging, we have medium relationship in case of aerodynamic look. Now we take nice finish. Now in relationship with steel, it has a medium relationship, but for aluminum and titanium, it has a strong relationship. And concerning to manufacturing processes, weak relationship with welding, strong relationship with die casting, weak relationship with sand casting, medium relationship with forging, and strong relationship with powder metallurgy. That means if powder metallurgy process is used, in that case we can able to manufacture a handlebar stem with a nice finish. Now we study the corrosion resistant, the property of resisting the corrosion in handlebar stem. So if we use steel, then there is a weak relationship. That means the steel can't be able to resist the corrosion in handlebar stem. But if we use aluminum and titanium to manufacture the handlebar stem, then there is a strong relationship. That means both metals can be able to resist the corrosion. Now if we talk about the manufacturing processes, then welding has a weak relationship with corrosion resistant, but die casting, sand casting, forging, and powder metallurgy, all four processes have medium relationship with corrosion resistant. Okay, now we take lightweight. Now for lightweight, the relationship with steel is very weak, or weak, you can say that, because triangle is there. But for aluminum and titanium, we can able to manufacture a lightweight handlebar stem using aluminum and titanium. Therefore, we have a strong relationship with lightweight for aluminum and titanium. But there is no relationship with manufacturing process like welding, die casting, sand casting and forging, but it has a weak relationship with powder metallurgy. That means using powder metallurgy, we can able to manufacture a lightweight handlebar stem somehow. Now, if we talk about the strength, the next customer requirement, with the steel, it has a strong relationship. With aluminum, it has a medium relationship, but with titanium, it has a strong relationship. That means the strength would be very high if we use steel and titanium metals. But if we talk about the manufacturing process, then with welding, it has a weak relationship, but with die casting and sand casting, it has medium relationship. With forging, it has a strong relationship. That means the strength would be very high if we use forging manufacturing process for handlebar stem. With powder metallurgy process, it has a weak relationship. Now, if we talk about the durability, then with steel, it has a strong relationship, but with aluminum and titanium, it has medium relationship. Now, if we talk about the manufacturing process for durability, then durability would be high in case of die casting and forging. Here, the relationship is strong. But for welding, it has a weak relationship, and for sand casting and powder metallurgy, it has medium relationship. Now we study the interrelationship between technical descriptors, that is correlation matrix, here on the top of the house. So if I would zoom in, then you can see here, this is the interrelationship between technical descriptors, and this is known as the correlation matrix, right? So this matrix shows the relationship between the material selection and manufacturing process. This studies the relationship between the three metals with the manufacturing process one by one, right? So how do we do that? We'll take a look on that. So to add the interrelationship matrix on the top of the house, we have to identify any relationship between each of the technical descriptors. And for that, we use the symbols that describe the strength of the relationships. So for that, a solid circle represents a strong positive relationship, a circle represents a positive relationship, a triangle represents a negative relationship, and a diamond represents a strong negative relationship. And if we want to replace these symbols with numbers, then we can do that. So solid circle can be replaced with +9 for strong positive relationship. Single circle can be replaced with +3 to showcase the positive relationship, and a triangle can be replaced with -3 to showcase the negative relationship, and a diamond can be replaced with -9 to showcase the strong negative relationship. Okay, now what is the objective of this interrelationship matrix to add on the top of the house? To identify the conflicting technical descriptors and to identify the trade-off between them. There are a number of technical descriptors which are conflicting with each other, and we have to balance these kind of technical descriptors. And if not identified and resolved this kind of technical descriptors, then they will often lead to unfulfilled requirements, engineering changes, increased costs, and poorer quality. For example, trade-off is in the design of a car, where the customer requirements of high fuel economy and safety yield technical descriptors, they are conflicting with each other. So the customer requires high fuel economy, at the same time safety yield is the technical descriptor. They are conflicting with each other, high fuel economy and safety yield. And for that, added weight of stronger bumpers, weight is added to the bumpers to make it strong, and airbags, anti-lock brakes, and some federal standards are there that could impact the standard, and they will ultimately reduce the fuel efficiency of the car. So the fuel economy and the safety yield, these kind of technical descriptors are conflicting technical descriptors, and they must be balanced with each other. So for that we use the interrelationship matrix on the top of the house. For example, we will see in next slide, like the titanium and sand casting would be a strong negative, that means -9 correlation, because titanium part would never be sand cast. And on the contrary, aluminum and die casting would be a strong positive correlation, because aluminum is usually die cast. Okay, now we come to our interrelationship matrix on the top of the house. So here we have the relationship between these three materials like steel, aluminum and titanium with welding. First we study the relationship of all three metals with welding. So steel has a strong positive relationship with welding, aluminum has positive relationship with welding, but titanium has negative relationship with welding, right? So this way we can study the relationship of all three metals with the first process, which is our welding. Now with second process, steel has a positive relationship with die casting, aluminum has strong positive relationship with die casting, titanium has positive relationship with die casting, right? Now we study the relationship of all three metals with sand casting. So steel has a strong positive relationship with sand casting, aluminum has positive relationship with sand casting, and titanium has strong negative relationship with sand casting. We cannot manufacture a handlebar stem of titanium with sand casting. It cannot be sand cast. Okay, now we study the relationship of all three metals with forging. So steel has strong negative relationship with forging, aluminum has negative relationship with forging, and titanium also has negative relationship with forging, right? Now with powder metallurgy, steel has negative relationship with powder metallurgy, aluminum has positive relationship with powder metallurgy, and titanium has strong positive relationship with powder metallurgy. So we can manufacture the handlebar stem with titanium using powder metallurgy process. So therefore titanium has a strong positive relationship with powder metallurgy. Okay, now we have prioritize customer requirements in the backyard of the house and prioritize technical descriptors in the bottom of the house. First we study first section of the prioritize customer requirements, which is customer competitive assessment. So here we have three columns. Here we have three columns for customer competitive assessment. So first this column, our product, A's product and B's product. So we study the customer competitiveness for our product, A's product and B's product. A and B are our two competitors. So how do we do that? Let's take a look on that. So adding customer competitive assessment to house of quality. So why we add this customer competitiveness to house of quality? It is a good way to determine if the customer requirements have been met and identify areas to concentrate on in the next design. That means we are confirming that the customer requirements are meeting and where we need to concentrate on in the next design, and to identify where the organization stands in the market relative to its major competitors, and how to add the customer competitive assessment to house of quality. We have to assign the ratings for each customer requirement. 1 is for worst and 5 is for best for our product and our competitors' product. And let's see how do we do that. So first we study for our product. We give ratings to our product on the basis of customer requirements. Okay, I'll make it zoom in. For our product, the rating of our product on the basis of reasonable cost, it is 3 for aerodynamic look, it is 4 for nice finish, our product is 4 for corrosion resistant, it is 4 for lightweight, 3 for strength, 3 for durability, it is 3. Now we study A's product. Okay. Okay, here we have A's product, ratings of A's product. For reasonable cost, A's product has a rating of 4. For aerodynamic look, A's product has a rating of 5. And for nice finish, it has a rating of 5. For corrosion resistant, it has a rating of 4. For lightweight, it has a rating of 4. For strength, it has a rating of 3. For durability, it has a rating of 3. That means A's product is much more competitive than our product. Now we study the rating of B's product, which is given by the quality function deployment team. Okay, so here we have the ratings of B's product. Right. So B's product. So for reasonable cost, B's product has a rating of 2. For aerodynamic look, B's product has a rating of 3. For nice finish, it has a rating of 3. For corrosion resistant, it has a rating of 2. For lightweight, it has a rating of 2. For strength, it has a rating of 4. And for durability, it has a rating of 4. So B's product is not much competitive than our product, but A's product is much more competitive than our product, as shown by the ratings given by the quality function deployment team in this section. Okay, now we study the technical competitive assessment here in the bottom of the house in the section of prioritized technical descriptors. So this is the first section in the prioritized technical descriptors where we study the technical competitive assessment for our product, A's product and B's product. A and B are our competitors. So how do we do that? So to add the technical competitive assessment to house of quality, we have to study the following things. Here the products of our and competitors are evaluated for each technical descriptor. The technical competitive assessment is often useful in uncovering gaps in engineering judgment, whether we were right or not to take the engineering judgment, and we want to find out the gap on the basis of technical competitive assessment. And how to add the technical competitive assessment to the house of quality. We have to assign the ratings for each technical descriptor. 1 is for worst and 5 is for best for our product and our competitors' product, and our competitors are A and B. So now starting with our product. So our product, the rating of our product, for steel it has a rating of 0. For aluminum our product has a rating of 5. For titanium our product has a rating of 0. And if we talk about the manufacturing process, then for welding it has a rating of 0. For die casting, only for die casting our product has a rating of 5. For rest of the processes our product has a rating of 0. Okay, now if we study the technical competitive assessment for A's product, then we can able to see that for steel and aluminium A's product has a rating of 0, but for titanium it has a rating of 5. Now if we talk about the manufacturing processes, then A's product has a rating of 0 for welding, sand casting, forging, powder metallurgy. Only for die casting it has a rating of 5. Now if we study the technical competitive assessment for B's product, then we find that only for steel B's product rating is 5, and for aluminum and titanium it has a rating of 0. And if we talk about the manufacturing processes, then the technical competitive assessment for B's product is a 4 only for welding process, and for rest of the processes it has a rating of 0. So this way we can assign the ratings to our product and our competitor's product. Okay, now we come back to the prioritized customer requirements in the backyard of the house, but the next section. So this section has, we study how to develop the prioritized customer requirements in this section. So we have 4 items in this section: importance to customer, target value, scale of factor, sales point, absolute weight, to prioritize the customer requirements. So starting with importance to customer. Okay, so importance to customer. Importance rating represents the relative importance of each customer requirement in terms of each other. So we want to prioritize the customer requirement on the basis of importance, and it is useful for prioritizing efforts and making trade-off decisions. If we have conflicting requirements, then we try to balance the conflicting customer requirements on the basis of importance. And how to add these ratings to house of quality? So we have to rank each customer requirement by assigning it a rating, 1 for least important and 10 for most important. Therefore the scale is from 1 to 10. 1 is for least important and 10 is for most important. So here we have the ratings for each customer requirement according to the importance to customer. Okay, so reasonable cost has a rating of 8, aerodynamic look has a rating of 5, nice finish has a rating of 5 according to the importance to customer. So here we can see that reasonable cost is the most important characteristic for the customer. Then corrosion resistant has a rating of 2, lightweight has a rating of 5, strength has a rating of 5, and durability has a rating of 3 according to the importance to customer. Each customer requirement has a rating according to the importance to customer. Right. Now we move to target value. Okay. So in this column we have the target value rating. So how do we give the ratings for target value? So this column has the same scale as the customer competitive assessment, and as it was 1 for worst, 5 for best, again we have the target value from 1 to 5. 1 is for worst, 5 is for best. In this column the QFD team decides to keep their product either unchanged, or wants to improve, or wants to exceed the competition. And how to add the rating to house of quality? If lightweight has a product rating, so for example, lightweight is a customer requirement and it has a rating of 3 according to customer competitive assessment for our product. So it has a rating of 3. And if the QFD team wants to improve the product, then the target value would be 4, right? To improve the product from 3 to 4. So 3 is the customer competitive assessment for our product, and 4 is the target value to improve the product. So here we can see in the house of quality again the target value for each customer requirement. For reasonable cost, it is 4 because we want to improve our product for this requirement for reasonable cost. The QFD team wants to improve the product for reasonable cost. And for aerodynamic look, 4 for our product, customer competitive assessment is 4 and target value is again 4. There is no changes required on the basis of this customer requirement. For nice finish, it is 4 to 4, no changes required. For corrosion resistant, it is 4 to 4, no changes required. For lightweight, for our product, customer competitive assessment is 3, but target value is 4. That means there is a requirement of change or to improve. For strength, there is no change, 3 to 3. For durability, there is no change, 3 to 3. Right. So this column is for target value. Now we study the scale-up factor. So let's take a look. What is scale-up factor? So scale-up factor represents the efforts required to improve the product. So if we want to improve our product on the basis of lightweight, then how much efforts we need to put into to improve our product. So it is the ratio of target value to the product rating, which we have given in customer competitive assessment. So how to add into house of quality? So for example, we take the reasonable cost. QFD team wants to improve the product. Therefore, the efforts required are represented by 4 divided by 3. 3 was the previous rating on the basis of customer competitive assessment, but 4 is the target value. Therefore, 4 divided by 3 equal to 1 by 3. Now, let's take a look the scale-up factor for other requirements. So for reasonable cost, it is 4 divided by 3, 1.3. For aerodynamic look, it is 4 divided by 4, 1. For nice finish, it is 4 divided by 4, 1. For corrosion resistant, it is 4 divided by 4, 1. For lightweight, it is 4 divided by 3, 1.3. For strength, it is 3 divided by 3, 1. For durability, it is 3 divided by 3, 1. Right. Now we come to sales point. Now let's try to understand what is sales point. Okay. Sales point tells the QFD team how well a customer requirement will sell, and it promotes the best customer requirement and any remaining customer requirements that will help in the sale of the product. So it defines the sellability of the product on the basis of particular customer requirement. So sales point is a value between 1.0 to 2.0, with 2.0 is being the highest. And how to add to house of quality? Suppose aerodynamic look. We take aerodynamic look. Could help the sale of the handlebar stem. It is an important characteristic according to the customer requirements for handlebar stem. So the sales point is given a value of 1.5 by the QFD team. If a customer requirement will not help the sale of the product, so this is the sellability. It defines the sellability, how well a customer requirement helps to sale of the product. So if a customer requirement will not help the sale of the product, the sales point is given a value of 1. So 2 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Now let's take a look in this column. Here this is the sales point column. So for reasonable cost it is 1.5. It contributes to sale of the product. Then aerodynamic look, it also contributes to sale of the product. So 1.5 is there. For nice finish it is 1, not so much contributed to sale of the product. So corrosion resistant it is 1 again. But lightweight, it is the most important characteristic for the sale of the product. This requirement is the most important requirement. So it is given 2. For strength it is 1. For durability it is 1. So this is our column for sales point. Right, now we study the absolute weight. How do we calculate the absolute weight? Absolute weight, and how do we prioritize the customer requirements on the basis of absolute weight? Let's see here. Now what is absolute weight? Absolute weight is the multiplication of importance to customer with scalar factor and a sales point. So a percent and a rank for each customer requirement is determined. So we can find out the percentage of absolute weight if we want to, and it used as a guide for planning phase of the product development. So how do we calculate the absolute weight for each customer requirement? So here we have, so for reasonable cost it is 8 multiplied to 1.3 multiplied to 1.5, it is approximately comes out as 16. Then for aerodynamic look it is 5 multiplied to 1 multiplied to 1.5 comes out as 8. Then we have nice finish, it is 5 multiplied to 1 multiplied to 1, again we have 5 for nice finish. For corrosion resistant we have 2 multiplied to 1 multiplied to 1, 2. For lightweight we have 7 multiplied to 1.3 multiplied to 2, approximately 18. For strength it is 5 multiplied to 1 multiplied to 1, we have 5. For durability it is 3 multiplied to 1 multiplied to 1 equal to 3. So this is the column for absolute weight to prioritize the customer requirements. So here the lightweight is the most important customer requirement. We can prioritize easily by looking at this column of absolute weight, and if we want to find out the percent for this absolute weight, we can easily find out that to prioritize the customer requirement. Now we come to the next section of prioritize technical descriptor, and this section is for the degree of technical difficulty, target value, absolute weight and relative weight. So this section you can say that the footer of the house of quality, in the bottom of the house. Right. So starting with the degree of technical difficulty. So what is the degree of technical difficulty? It evaluates the degree of implementation of each technical descriptors. That means if we consider the steel, then how difficult to manufacture a handlebar stem using steel. So it evaluates that. So how to add the score for technical difficulty to house of quality? So we need to rate each technical descriptor on the basis of its implementation from 1 for least difficult to 10 which is for most difficult. So here we have the scores for degree of technical difficulty. So for steel it is 1, for aluminium it is 6, for titanium it is 9. So we can understand that out of these 3 metals, the titanium is the most difficult metal. If we use titanium to manufacture a handlebar stem, then we faced huge difficulty to manufacture a handlebar stem. Similarly, in manufacturing processes, welding has 4, die casting has 7, sand casting has 3, forging has 6 and powder metallurgy has 9. That means the most difficult process is powder metallurgy to manufacture a handlebar stem. Right, now we come to the target value. So what is target value? So target value is the objective measure that defines values that must be obtained to achieve the technical competitiveness for each technical descriptor. So in technical competitive section, we already given the scores to the technical descriptors on the basis of their technical competitiveness. Now we want to improve the technical competitiveness for each technical descriptors, and this defines by the target value. The target value answers for each technical descriptors how much efforts are required to exceed the customer expectations. So how to add the target value to house of quality? For example, suppose steel has a 0 in house of quality for this technical descriptor for the technical competitiveness, and QFD team wants to improve the score for technical competitiveness for steel. Then the QFD team gives a 5 to improve the technical competitiveness for steel. So similarly, we can see the target value for other technical descriptors. So here the technical competitiveness score for our product for each technical descriptor, and this is the target value score for each technical descriptor. So here we can see that the QFD team wants to improve the score for steel. So here we have 0 to 5, but for aluminum 5 is already given to aluminum, so 5 to 5 there is no requirement to change or to improve. But for titanium there is a huge requirement of improvement, so 0 to 5. And in manufacturing processes, for welding it is a 0 to 4, there is a requirement of improvement. For die casting there is no requirement of improvement because of 5 to 5, and rest of the processes have no requirement of improvement because 0, 0, 0 is already in the technical competitiveness section, and in target value section we have again 0, 0. So there is no requirement of improvement in these processes. Now we calculate the absolute weight for each technical descriptor. So here we have the absolute weight. Okay, so what is absolute weight? To calculate the absolute weight, we first need to assign the numbers to the symbols in the relationship matrix. We already created the relationship matrix in central hall using symbols. Now we change the symbols or replace the symbols with numerals. Now how to add absolute weight to house of quality? So for that we need to multiply the column for each technical descriptor in a relationship matrix with the column for importance to customer in prioritized customer requirements, and then we find the sum of the products of these columns. Let's see how to calculate that. So first we need to change these symbols with numerals in the central hall, which is the relationship matrix, right? So here we change the symbols, or we replace the symbols with numbers. So 9 is for strong relationship for dark circle, and 3 is for medium relationship for single circle, and 1 is for weak relationship for triangle, right? So we have prepared the relationship matrix using numerals. Okay, now to calculate the absolute weight for steel. So this is the column for steel, the relationship with numerals for each customer requirement, and it is the customer it is the importance to customer score for each customer requirement, right? How important to customer each requirement, how each requirement is important to customer, right? So this is a score for importance to customer. Now we calculate the absolute weight for steel. So we multiply 9 to 8, the corresponding values need to be multiplied. 9 into 8, 72, 0 into 5, 0, 3 into 5, 15, 1 into 2, 2, 1 into 7, 7, 9 into 5, 45, 9 into 3, 27. Okay, and then we get the summation of all these multiplications. So when we add all these multiplications, we get 168 here for steel. And similarly, we can calculate the absolute weight for aluminium. So we get 227, and similarly we can get for aluminium it is 193, and similarly for manufacturing processes we can get the absolute weight. So for welding it is 92, for die casting it is 162, for sand casting it is 122, and for forging it is 132, and for powder metallurgy it comes out as 125. Now we calculate the relative weight for each technical descriptor. So the relative weight, how to add the relative weight to house of quality? Again, we need to multiply the column of each technical descriptor in relationship matrix, but this time we multiply this column with the absolute weight in prioritized customer requirements, right? And then we again find the summation of the products of these columns. So here we have the column under steel, the same, we again repeat that column one by one, but this time the multiplication is done with the absolute weight score in prioritized customer requirements. Okay, so 9 multiplied to 16, 144, 0 multiplied to 8, 0, 3 multiplied to 5, 15, 1 multiplied to 2, 2, 1 multiplied to 18, we get 18, 9 multiplied to 5, we get 45, 9 multiplied to 3, we get 27. And when we add all these multiplications, we get 251 for steel. And similarly, we can calculate the relative weight for aluminum, which comes out as 401, and for titanium, it comes out as 303. And similarly, for manufacturing processes, for welding, it comes out as 167. For die casting, it comes out as 213. For sand casting, it comes out as 203. For forging, it comes out as 165. For powder metallurgy, it comes out as 171. Right. Okay. Now, what is the objective of this construction of this house of quality? Is to prioritize the technical descriptors. So here we have the maximum absolute weight score is for aluminum 227, and for manufacturing processes it is 162 maximum score for die casting. Die casting has the maximum absolute weight score. And for relative weight we have 401 for aluminum again, and 213 for die casting again. So this is the importance of house of quality, to prioritize the customer requirements. So what we conclude that, so the conclusion is that the highest values of absolute weights are 227 and 162 for aluminum and die casting respectively. And similarly, the highest values of relative weights are 401 and 213 again for aluminum and die casting respectively. And this implies that aluminum is the preferred metal and die casting is the preferred manufacturing process out of 5 given processes, or 5 options which we have given to the manufacturing processes. And therefore the resources should be allocated accordingly to preferred metal and manufacturing process in house of quality. So resources should be given by the organization on the basis of preferred technical descriptors to manufacture a handlebar stem. So this is the importance of house of quality. So this was the house of quality for handlebar stem of a mountain bike. And similarly, you can design or construct a house of quality for any product for your organization and prioritize the technical descriptors on the basis of customer requirements. If you have any question or suggestions, then please do write your feedback in the comment box below. If you really enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe Shake Hand with Life YouTube channel and hit the bell to get the notifications of my latest video lectures. If you want to download the course notes related with this content, then please follow the link given in the description below. To get the information about my latest online training programs, please visit to my website www.shakehandwithlife.in. This is Narendra Sharma signing off. We'll see you soon in my next video with a new topic. Thank you.